Hi, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. My name is Josh Albrecht, and with me, as always, is...
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht, and we're here to talk about all the great and wonderful things about the city of Milwaukee that we all love so much. And we are so happy to have our guest today, a man of many talents, David Caruso, the host of the upcoming TV series Milwaukee Made. David, thank you for joining us.
It is such a pleasure to be here. Good to see both of you.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to learn a bunch about this. I know that, Josh, you've been a huge part of this as well, just with this collaboration of this this kind of a similar outlook of what we do here on Joshing Around, of just helping tell the stories of Milwaukee and what makes the city so great. So why don't you just kind of take it from there, David, and kind of tell me what Milwaukee Made is all about.
Well, this is so exciting. I mean, Milwaukee Made, the TV show, is probably, I would say, by far one of the best things happening in Milwaukee this summer is the debut of this show. And Josh's team at Visit Milwaukee, they get so many accolades, and they are so well-deserved because it is such an excellent collaboration with Visit Milwaukee and Team Lammi. We are out in the community telling the stories about the culture, the people, the places, all the things to do. It is so much fun. And I guarantee you that the show Milwaukee Made is exciting, it's energizing, and it's also inspiring. We meet amazing people on the journey.
Well, there's so many wonderful stories in Milwaukee and the area. It's when we were thinking about, like, what is the best way to tell that story? And we thought, you just got to sit down and explore it and then throw David into crazy situations.
Yeah.
Right? So I think one of my favorite scenes from the teaser that we have out there is you dancing with the grand dancers at the Bucks game.
Yeah, that was for sure a highlight for me too, Josh. It was such a fun afternoon. I've always admired them from the stands in Fiserv Forum at the Bucks games and wondered, like, what are these people about? What does it take to be a grand dancer? And so we really got to learn from one of the most fabulous guest stars of the season, Annette, and some of her other dancer friends joined us. But yes, they did teach me some of their moves.
Good, awesome.
And I've got the moves, I promise.
Attaboy.
Viewers will love to hear about, they have such cool stories. One of the things I learned is that their age is the number on their jersey.
Oh.
A few of them are married. The audition process is very, very tough. And many of them have done it for many years, even though you have to audition for every season. But their personalities shine, and you can see that from the stands. But to be able to be one-on-one with them and learn from them a dance was super great. And Annette is just one of the most wonderful people that we met along the way. And yes, that I think viewers will love that dancing episode.
Yeah, and so the episodes we have 3 episodes. This short mini series of episodes that really highlight Milwaukee in so many ways. A couple of key themes for each episode to help watchers sort of understand what's going on, right? And obviously, basketball and Milwaukee Bucks culture is one of those themes that we're referring to. But it's not. But the focus isn't going to be on the Milwaukee Bucks. You're not going to see Giannis in this. You're going to see the people affected by the Bucks culture. Who else would we see in an episode like this?
Yeah, so in the Bucks culture episode, we visited G at G's Clippers, which of course is just a hub of everything that happens in the city. And there I actually got instructions from G and gave a haircut to one of our show producers, which was super fun. And just talked. We had some visitors come by. The mayor stopped by. Peter Fagan stopped by with the World Championship trophy, and just talked about what does the Bucks culture in Milwaukee mean, and why is it so important to not only have a team like that, but to have people associated with the Bucks integrated into our community. And of course, G at the barbershop is just an icon. So much fun to talk to him. And then Nemo at the Antetokounmpo's store right next to the Trade Hotel. He kind of gave us some inside scoop about what that retail outlet is like, and working with, of course, Giannis and his brother and that organization on the retail side of things. But the apparel they have there is so cool. They hooked me up with a really cool fit. I loved it. And it really is, like Josh said, just learning about how this World Championship team has kind of integrated into the city, and how it's created a culture that has really kind of trickled out in so many ways. It's really fun.
Yeah, and I think one of the greatest things about this is, we all, as Milwaukeeans, we all go through life and we go to Bucks games. We see these things, and a lot of times a question will pop in our head of, oh, I wonder what that's all about. And then you move on to the next thing, right? Because there's 100 things happening that you're looking at, and so to have you dive into that and answer those questions that in that moment we were probably all wondering, but then moved on to the next thing because it wasn't explained to us at the time, is really cool.
Yeah.
And something that I think is it's a niche that really kind of describes Milwaukee. We have so many small little stories that need to be focused on to be told.
Right.
And I love that that Milwaukee Made is doing that. Very, very cool.
We do get the opportunity to really, like you said, learn more about the people. And to me, as the host, that is probably the highlight is, yes, we get to have a lot of fun and do cool things. But it really is kind of getting a little bit deeper with the people and understanding, like, why is Milwaukee to them such a special place? And it is inspiring that way. That's why I think this show is inspiring to watch, because you really do get to hear more about who are the people that makes Milwaukee shine. It's awesome.
So cool. Well, and the basketball culture is just one of the episodes.
Yes.
There's a whole, other side of this that we're going to get into as well when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having a ton of fun talking with David Caruso, host of Milwaukee Made, talking about all the amazing things about Milwaukee. One of those amazing things is, of course, the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It's a treasure worth $300,000 in cash and prizes. For your chance to win, just play your favorite slots. 40 winners each Thursday. The $300,000 Boundless Bounty happens this June. Don't miss it. More info at Potawatomi.com. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play. So, David, we talked about the basketball culture episode, but it's not going to be just focused on sports. Obviously, there's a ton of things happening in Milwaukee that really define Milwaukee. What else can we expect to see in the other episodes?
Well, episode 2 is also very fun. It is the Brewing Revolution episode, as we are calling it. But really what's neat about this is, of course, we all know that we have a city built on brew pubs and breweries and that kind of beer culture. But what's happening now that is so cool is kind of this idea that non-alcoholic beverages, crafted brews, these things are so popular. Everything from tea that we stopped by on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive to see Angela over at Honeybee Sage and had this great kind of tea experience with her. Sprecher Brewery, oh my God, we had so much fun there talking about root beer and all of those great crafted sodas that are very popular. And then, of course, Lakefront Brewery was a really, really fun stop. And we learned the Laverne and Shirley song and did that little number on the episode, which is fun. So yes, this is episode 2 is also very fun, and it is all about kind of different kind of beverage experiences around the city.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee's the city that beer built, but we've evolved, right? And things change.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're still known for the great beer brewing in the city, but there's plenty of other brews to explore and see throughout the city.
Yeah. And we, of course, to go with drinks, you also sometimes need food. And one thing I won't forget about this episode is at Lakefront Brewery, one of their tremendous chefs there brought us a bunch of different cheese curds that were all very unique recipes. One of them Oreo. Another one had like a very hot kind of honey spice. But it was neat to see the things that they're doing there too, just on their menu. That place is always so much fun. And at both Lakefront Brewery and Sprecher, the tours were awesome. And anybody that comes to Milwaukee and that lives here, if they haven't already, those 2 tours, I've lived here my whole life. I haven't done those tours until the show. It was so much fun, and I would definitely recommend, after watching this episode, to go take those tours. Really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. They both are very cool, and it's funny you say that because I know a bunch of people, myself included, at one point where it wasn't until I had someone visiting, and I was like, oh, I got to find something to do with these guys. What should we do? That then I was like, oh, I haven't done this tour yet. Maybe I'll take them on that, and then that's how I did it too. And it's sometimes, you got to take a step back and go, just because we live here, there's still so many things. We don't have to wait for visitors to come to still enjoy all the wonderful things that Milwaukee has to offer.
So many things. And one of the great privileges of being the host of the show is that I get to meet some of the people I've always wanted to meet. Ryan from Discourse Coffee was one of those people. And anyone that either loves coffee or other drinks, you have got to meet Ryan, and you've got to see his very talented staff, both at Discourse and his new, the name of it is now escaping me. Do you remember? He has this craft cocktail lounge over on the east side, which is unbelievable also. But he's such a great guy, and I would say probably one of the top 3 cheerleaders for Milwaukee. We had a great time. I jumped behind the latte bar and made a really cool coffee drink, which was awesome. But he's a cool guy too.
Very, very cool. And then what about the third episode?
Third episode, wow. I mean, Visit Milwaukee has done a tremendous job promoting the theater district, and this is our focus on episode 3, is all of the amazing arts and cultural experiences here in our city. Of course, the Milwaukee Rep, tremendous organization, and they're just getting ready for their big grand opening coming up in the fall. We visited and had a hard hat behind the scenes tour of the new Associated Bank Theater Center with Milwaukee Rep. Susan Varela at the Skylight Music Theater, just unbelievable the experience we had there. Tremendous things happening on stage there. Got some cool behind the scenes about the ghost stories that haunt the Skylight Music Theater, so that's really fun to watch. And we had a sit down with Gary Witt, of course, with the Pabst Theater Group. We met so many people on this episode that are so committed to the thriving arts and theater scene here in the city. It really is very eye-opening because there are things happening here for the first time that even haven't happened on Broadway or in other big cities, and they are happening in our vibrant theater culture here in Milwaukee. It's very cool.
Yeah, our theater district is just absolutely thriving. It's a great opportunity to come see live performances. Like you said, it might be a Broadway show, it might be a string quartet, it might be a comedy show at the Riverside. Who knows what it might be? But come have a wonderful night out, and just a great way to see the city in a new way. And our theater district has more seats per capita than any other city in the United States. So really, really thriving, really growing, wonderful place. And
it is kind of crazy, even just on Joshing Around, we've had so many guests that have been in some way, shape, or form incorporated with the theater district. And it's kind of just like there's another person and then another person, and they're all just representing a different way to show off the arts. And it really makes you want to just take a step back and really appreciate all that Milwaukee has to offer with the arts.
Yeah, and once you watch all 3 episodes, it's perfect because they can all sort of blend into each other, and you can sort of do all of them in one trip or one day and have a lot of fun. You can get your haircut at G's. You can go see a show that night, maybe get a drink afterwards, and you would get that drink at Agency.
There it is. You're right. I'm so sorry. Agency. You're right.
It took us a minute, but we got it. And and so a great way to blend the brewing, the theater, the basketball culture. It could all happen in one day. You don't have to have 3 different trips. You can spend one weekend doing all of it, stay a few nights, see all the fun things.
Yeah. And what's one of the neatest things for me, too, just to witness, even from like the crew perspective in places that we visited, so many people on the crew started planning their date nights. And I think it's one of the things that will be awesome for viewers is just watching and just getting great ideas of places to go for date nights or with your friends or your gal pals or whatever. It's just there's so many things either for visitors or locals that you'll get from this show, and you can make yourself a hero when you plan the best date night or the best weekend for your family, kids, and everybody. It's just, you'll get a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to you now talk, I was already like, people better be ready to take notes.
Yes.
Like, have a notebook with you when you're watching.
And Josh is a planner. He's already planning.
I am. You got to plan this stuff out. Look, I got 2 kids. I got a baby. Look, date nights are not easy to come by. Okay, if this is happening, like I got to know when, where, down to the hour. How are we doing this? And make sure it's everything's going to work out. But I'm very excited for everything that's going to be presented in Milwaukee Made. Josh, you want to touch on a little bit, I know that David mentioned a little bit the partnership that you guys had, but also with Team Lammi and kind of from your perspective of just being a part of this and what you experienced.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've got a wonderful partnership with Team Lammi. They've done an amazing job Brian Lammi and Mark Cass have been, as hands-on as you would expect a partner to be. They've done a great job of getting extra content. So they're actually planning some extra fun social and web-based content to go along with each episode, which will be a really fun thing that we'll see. So if you love the episode and want more information, David's created additional content that you can go and get little snackable versions of that online and on social. So they've just done an amazing job of really diving into this and then leveraging their experiences. They've been producing television shows for years, doing Inside the Huddle, the Packers Game Day Show, and other shows in Kansas City and throughout the country. So they brought their experience in other markets and helping us expand a little bit. And so that's been a great partnership between Team Lammi and David Caruso and Visit Milwaukee. And of course, we've got some other great sponsors and partners who help make it happen, like Sprecher and Marquette University came on to help support us and others. So it's great to see when people can come and help elevate the experience.
Yeah, Milwaukee helping Milwaukee.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, Josh, it is a TV show. And so you are going to be able to watch it on television. And we're going to let you know when and where you can do so when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, welcome back to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having a great time with David Caruso, host of Milwaukee Made. We just got done talking about all of the amazing content that is going to be a part of the TV show. Now we got to tell you how you can watch it, right? So let's talk about first, it's going to be in, I had it down here, 14, 15 markets?
14 markets, across the Midwest.
Incredible.
Yeah, some really, really great things. So we're going to be sharing it, obviously, throughout Wisconsin, Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas City. We're going down into some of the other Illinois destinations, Quad Cities, Iowa, Illinois border, Peoria, Rockford, getting it through Iowa. So definitely it's a great way to pinpoint it for Visit Milwaukee within a 6-hour drive time, basically, is what we're targeting.
Perfect.
Get those visitors who can come do weekend trips and some summertime trips, hop in the car, bring the family, and do some really fun things like going on a Sprecher Brewery tour.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for the local crowd, though, here in Milwaukee that want to enjoy it, it's going to be, the first episode is going to be on June 15th on TMJ4 here in Milwaukee.
Yes, at 10:30 in the morning. So it's a great Sunday morning show to watch.
Get your Bloody Mary.
Yep.
We're going to wake you up on Sunday morning for sure.
Love it. And for all of that information, if you're going, wait a minute, I don't know exactly when that was, visit Milwaukee.org. You're going to find all of the information there on when and where, because it's the 3 episodes. So it's not all going to be just on the 15th. You're going to have to go weekly.
Yeah, you got to tune in, set the DVR.
That's right.
Yeah.
Set the time.
It, record it, watch it, rewatch it, watch it again. Yeah, put it on at Thanksgiving later this year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly, but it truly, though, it is a family-friendly show, and it'd be a great opportunity. I really miss appointment television, and I think this is appointment television, right? Set the timer. Be like, hey, I'm gonna on Sunday 10:30. I'm gonna go watch it. Sunday morning we'll enjoy it with the family. Maybe make a brunch, have a little fun time. Maybe go pre-buy some Sprecher if you're in Milwaukee and can get that, or if you're in the area, and make it a thing. Enjoy it with the family. If you don't have that opportunity, and like you said, Josh, the schedule is going to be on our website, visitmilwaukee.org. You can see the full schedule, whether you're in Milwaukee or any of the destinations throughout the Midwest. You can see your showtime. If you can't make the showtime, episodes will be available after the original air date on our website, visitmilwaukee.org. So you'll be able to watch it on our website. You'll see all kinds of, I mentioned earlier, snackable episodes, small 1, 2, 3 minute segments on our social media. So follow along at Visit Milwaukee social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or X, and even TikTok. You can get all this great content throughout. And it won't stop with just the 3 episodes. So after the 3 episodes air, you can go back, watch those episodes on our website. But we're going to release some of this extra content throughout the year. So you can become a fan and watch it year long as you relive highlights and different moments and different segments. And we interviewed so many people. David was talking to so many people those days we did the filming. There's going to be even some segments of interviews that aren't even in the show that you're going to have to watch on our website or watch on our social channels. So you'll get all kinds of information, ways to plan and experience the city all year long.
That's perfect. You know what people like more than content? More content.
More content.
That's right.
And we want to see people engaging with the show too. So, like Josh said on the social media channels or whatever, just however we get to see you enjoying the content, selfies of you and your family on Sunday watching TMJ4 or out in the community doing things in the places that we've shared on the show. We would just love to hear from people because we're excited to see the response and we know people are going to love it. And we Visit Milwaukee, as you know, loves to see people engaging with the city. So tell us how you are loving the show, but also show us what you're doing as you're watching and participating.
I love it. I love it. Well, this is great. Thank you so much, David, for joining us and telling us about Milwaukee Made. We're obviously very excited for this to come out and on June 14th, 15th here locally and to get the party started. Thanks so much for joining us.
So great to be with you guys. Thank you.
All right, and thank you for listening to this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. Of course, you can find out more information on Joshing Around at visitmilwaukee.org or tune in next week right here. Thanks so much. See you then. All right, everyone, if you're hearing this segment of Joshing Around Milwaukee today with our guest, David Caruso, it's because you're watching or listening on the Visit Milwaukee social media channels. We appreciate you doing so. And in this segment, we like to learn a little bit more about our guest. And Josh asks his patented question that he does every week. Josh, take it away.
Yeah, David, we love to say Milwaukee has got a lot of fresh, fun things going on right now. So what in Milwaukee and the area has given you fresh city vibes right now?
Wow. I mean, it's almost impossible to keep up with all the fresh, fun things happening in the city. That's what's so hard. But this is the kickoff to summer, which is the best time in Milwaukee, we all know. So for me, I try to find in my spare time, like, how can I be out and about trying to experience different festivals? Of course, there are so many. So every summer I try to find a couple of new ones that I haven't quite been able to get to yet. That's super fun. Dining out for me is, of course, one of my guilty pleasures. So new restaurants to me are for sure fresh city vibes. And my family is a theater family. So we are always at the Marcus Center or Skylight Music Theater, all of the different theater district venues for us. Even in the summertime, we're always trying to at least get to a couple of shows every month. So for me, those are kind of like how I find my fresh city vibes.
Yeah. I'm going to piggyback a little bit, put you on the spot. One restaurant, if you had to pick, you go out, you just got to pick one, just one, maybe a new one that you tried, or it could be a staple, one that is like a go-to for you all the time.
Well, I mean, I love Calucenza in Tosa. It's an amazing Italian homemade pasta. It's just right to my heart. They do an amazing job, a husband and wife that own and operate that restaurant in Tosa. They're awesome. That is definitely one of my go-tos.
I love that. See, this is why I actually don't mind the question.
It was all, yeah. You learn stuff.
Because it allows me, because there's so many things to try, so it almost needs to be a word of mouth of, well, where have you been lately?
Yeah.
Because if I'm just typing in on Google food near me, it's like I have a billion choices that I can go through. So that's great. Thank you.
And of course, David, many people in the community know you for your work with your company, Dynamic Events. So like most recently, Summerfest Gala, you just did that.
Yeah. So Dynamic Events by David Caruso has been my first passion now for 23 years. Growing up here, it's been super special to have a business that has been able to have some impact in fun ways in the city. And again, just get to meet so many people and have the pleasure of working with amazing clients. The Summerfest Big Gig Dress Rehearsal is always one of the best parties of the summer. Again, this year, spectacular. The grand opening of the Baird Center a year ago was incredible, a career highlight. So it really is, for me, so fun to be able to live my passion in the work that I do in a city that I love, and then to have great partners like Visit Milwaukee and Team Lammi to also, I was a TV broadcast major at Marquette University. So it is kind of this blending together of everything that I love, from telling the stories to experiencing my city to producing great events. It just all comes together in this really amazing Milwaukee Made TV show. And also being able to have my event planning business at the same time it's a dream. I'm grateful.
And you do events all around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just got back from a great event in Maui, and I leave
Thanks for the
next
invite.
week for Mexico. So when Milwaukee Made debuts locally, I'll be watching from Mexico, actually, which will be really
which
cool.
market was that? I didn't see that on the list.
Anywhere in the world you're going to find
There
us,
you go.
because this is the place to be. So you can watch us and come here from no matter where you are. So
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, David, for joining us today, and for hosting Milwaukee Made, and for being such a big cheerleader for Milwaukee. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, great chatting with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you so much for listening and watching today's episode. We've been doing this for a couple seasons now, so if you are watching for the first time and wondering what Joshing Around is all about, visit Milwaukee.org is your place to go, and you can watch back and spend a whole day having fun joshing around. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.